Eloise, a young woman with a passion for fashion design and a strange sixth sense, mysteriously finds herself transported back in time to 1966 in London in the body of her idol, a singer named Sandy. While in Sandy's body, she enters into a romantic relationship, but the city in the 1960s is not what it appears to be, and the past and present seem to fall apart with shady and horrifying consequences. We took a closer look at the trailer, analyzed it, and produced this video for you. We hope you enjoy it. This is What Happened Last Night in Soho, trailer fully explained and everything you need to know. But before we get into the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel with notifications on so you don't miss any of the new videos that we post. What is What Happened Last Night in Soho about? Judging by its eerie first trailer, the upcoming horror flick What Happened Last Night in Soho looks like a moody, stylish thriller, and we're even more excited based on the incredible cast that director Edgar Wright has assembled. 2020's breakout star Anya Taylor-Joy leads a cast that also includes everyone from screen legends to Hollywood newbies, all working together to create a time-traveling, mind-melding adventure. In keeping with the mysterious tone of the movie, there's very little that we actually know about any of the characters, aside from a few of their names. We do, however, know which stars we'll be seeing when Last Night in Soho hits theaters. Production. In January 2019, Edgar Wright said that he would next work on a London-set psychological horror film co-written by Krysty Wilson-Cairns. Anya Taylor-Joy, Matt Smith, and Thomasin McKenzie joined the next month, followed by Diana Rigg, Terrence Stamp, Rita Tushingham, Michael Ajao, and Sinov Carlson in June. Rigg died shortly after production had concluded, making Last Night in Soho her last film role. It's also the last film appearance of Margaret Nolan, who died in October 2020. Filming began on the 23rd of May 2019 and wrapped on the 30th of August 2019. The film is said to be inspired by British horror films such as Nicholas Roeg's Don't Look Now and Roman Polanski's Repulsion, with Wright mentioning the film's use of time travel. Wright posted several photos on his Instagram account showing that additional filming had commenced on 24 June 2020 and concluded on the 5th of August 2020. Cast. This is the cast of What Happened Last Night in Soho. As said, two other members of the cast have sadly died between the film's production and its release date, Dame Diana Rigg and Margaret Nolan. Margaret is best known for her work in Goldfinger, A Hard Day's Night, and the Carry On films, while Dame Diana was a hugely influential star of stage and screen. Dame Diana's most recently lauded role was as Olenna Tyrell in Game of Thrones, but she appeared in the Avengers TV series and as a Countess Teresa Di Vincenzo, wife of James Bond, in On Her Majesty's Secret Service. Anya Taylor-Joy as Sandy. Taylor-Joy, who most recently won a Golden Globe for playing chess prodigy Beth Harmon in The Queen's Gambit, is set to star as Sandy, an aspiring singer in the 60s London. Of course, Taylor-Joy is one of the biggest and fastest rising new stars in Hollywood, with other recent roles in Peaky Blinders, The New Mutants, and Emma. She'll be next in the Viking epic The Northman and play a young Furiosa in Mad Max Fury Road prequel. Thomasin McKenzie as Eloise. McKenzie stars as Eloise, an aspiring fashion designer who winds up in 1966 London. She's somewhat of a newcomer. You're most likely to recognize her for playing Elsa in Jojo Rabbit or Queen Philippa in The King. Matt Smith as Jack. Smith is one of the most recognizable members of the cast, having played two iconic TV roles in recent years, the 11th Doctor on Doctor Who and young Prince Philip for the first two seasons of The Crown. The exact details of Last Night in Soho role, however, remain a mystery. Diana Rigg as Miss Collins. The grande dame of screen stage plays the mysterious Miss Collins, and it will be a bittersweet role. Rigg died in September 2020, not long after filming for Last Soho had ended, making this her final film role. Rest in peace, Diana Rigg. Jessie Mee Lee as Lara. You know and love her as Alina Starkov, the powerful sun summoner at the heart of Netflix's fantasy series Shadow and Bone. For Last Night in Soho, she'll be playing Lara, another character whose backstory is still shrouded in mystery. Terrence Stamp. Over the course of his long and storied career, Stamp has won numerous awards, including a Golden Globe, and has even been nominated for an Oscar. You may recognize him playing the villainous General Zod in the original Super movies, or more recently, from the Tim Burton movies Big Eyes and Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. Rita Tushingham as Peggy Turner. Tushingham is another cast member with a long and high-profile career, starring in hit movies over several decades. Her most famous roles came in the 1960s, where she won acclaim for movies like A Taste of Honey and Dr. Shivago. Here she plays Peggy Turner, whose role in the plot is still unknown. Michael Ajao. Ajao made his screen debut in 2011 with the teen action comedy Attack the Block, and he's been working steadily ever since, although he hasn't had any high-profile projects. His most recent credit was in 2019 when he had an arc on the BBC crime drama Silent Witness. Sanov Carlson as Jocasta. Carlson, who plays Jocasta, is one of the newest kids on the block in the Last Night in Soho cast. This will be her feature film debut. Her other major credit so far is playing Clarice Orsini, an Italian noblewoman in the TV show Medici. What does the director say about the movie? Wright's directing credits include Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, cult classic Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, The World's End, and the Sony blockbuster Baby Driver. In an interview with Empire, Wright said he initially thought of Taylor-Joy for the role of Eloise, but changed his mind after seeing her embody a similar character, an innocent girl who gets thrown into a situation. In Split, of course. As for Mackenzie, the director said, she's great in The Last Night in Soho. She's so young and fragile that the film is going to be twice as scary. The film will include a time travel component, which Wright alluded to in a tweet, haunted by someone else's past. But we'll see you in the future. The trailer. The trailer starts out with Eloise sitting in a train with earphones on, looking out the window. The music is playing in Downtown by Petula Clark. Eloise is in the present, but the song already sets the atmosphere of what is to come. The intro scene is followed by Eloise pulling her bags behind her on the platform of the station, and then we see a wide-angle shot of London with the unmistakable black taxi. Eloise is then seen in her bedroom, all on her own in some type of cheap hotel. Her body language conveys the sense of loneliness. Even in the following scene where she's with other girls, she does not seem like she fits in or wants to fit in. The feeling is strengthened in the next shot where she's alone in her room again, pulling a duvet around her in a cocoon. She doesn't seem happy. When she goes to bed, things change. We see her next in a shot where she's walking down an alleyway between two buildings. The darkness is slowly replaced with a warm glow of yellow light across her face as she exits into a busy street, and there is a movie theater. The movie banner is large and reads Sean Connery and Thunderball. Since Thunderball came out in 1966, we know Eloise is somehow back in the 60s. The lights in the street are warm and inviting, in contrast to what we saw earlier, almost like Eloise is in a world of her dreams. Eloise enters a cafe, De La Paris, where she gets her first look at herself in a mirror, and she does not see herself, but rather Annie Taylor-Joy as Sandy. We immediately understand that Eloise looks like Sandy in the world she now finds herself in. Then in a confusing shot, Eloise wakes up in a bed. Is she still in the 60s or back in the present? Her face is replaced by that of Sandy for a part of a second. Next, she's busy drawing a fashion design. All of a sudden, demure Eloise is Sandy. She is seen dancing with a good-looking man, and then she is seen making out with him in an elevator. The whole time in mirrors, we see Eloise as Sandy. Then the music becomes distorted and the hairs on your arms rise up. Things become darker in shot after shot of the trailer. These shots include Sandy with black rings around her eyes and a chef's knife. The trailer ends with two hands breaking through the floor and catching Eloise by legs, followed by a glass screen slowly shattering. Scary stuff. Release date. Like so many other films, the release date for Last Night in Soho has been moved a few times. The first release date was scheduled to be September 25th, 2020, before it was delayed to April 23rd, 2021, due to the coronavirus pandemic. However, there were also additional filming requirements which took place between June and August 2020. This would have likely meant the September 2020 release date was ambitious, so its delay makes some sense. However, given April 2020 was still too early for cinemas to be open, the film's release date was yet moved again. Now, UK film fans can finally enjoy the film from October 29, 2021 on the big screen, provided cinemas remain open until then. There have been no news of simultaneously releasing or streaming being available for this film. The trailer leaves you wanting more. What happened last night in Soho is sure to scare you delightfully. Maybe. Keep your eyes open for it. Feel free to leave a comment down below. Thanks for watching. Come back for more. Until then, stay safe.